Right, so I'm gonna be making a lasagna. I put out all the ingredients. Oops, that music is a bit too loud. Let me turn it down. Anyway, yeah, so I have all the ingredients out. In here is the tomato sauce or this is all vegan, by the way, so I didn't add any dairy or meat to this. The minced meat in here is like vegan ground beef, vegan mincemeat, so it's plant-based. And I mashed it, I kind of separated it with a fork and mashed it, and I added some pasta sauce. You know, this is very like quick and easy recipe. You know, if you don't have a lot of time for cooking and all that, you can prepare this very quickly. I added some red peppers in here, chopped up some red peppers, chopped up one small onion, added basil and thyme and some Italian dried seasoning, and I added mushrooms to this. I chopped it up really finely. Even though this says, oh, hot and spicy, it's not very spicy, so I just added some more chili and black pepper to make it more spicy. So yeah, red pepper, onion, the vegan ground beef, mushrooms. Oh yeah, I added some olives. Just got some olives, and I chopped them up and put some olives in this sauce as well, just to add some more dimension and all that. So the basil, the thyme, the Italian seasoning. Because I find like with these little sauces here, they don't really add that much seasoning, not enough for me anyway. And then the onion, because I like to make sure I have enough onion and garlic in whatever I have, whatever dish I'm making. Yeah, and the red pepper is good too. This is the kind of white base for the lasagna. Basically it is tofu. I got a block of tofu. Put some garlic, lots of garlic in this, because I put onion in here. I didn't put any garlic in here, so the garlic's in this one here. So I chopped up the garlic very thinly. I added some baby spinach. Some sweet corn. You can see the sweet corn in there. I also added nutritional yeast to make it a bit cheesy flavored. Oh yeah, I added a little bit of eggplant. I baked some eggplant yesterday, so I added some eggplant to this. Yeah, I have the lasagna pasta out here. Yeah, and then this is the cheese here. It's vegan cheese. It doesn't have any dairy or anything like that. So I'm gonna just arrange this in my casserole, my big casserole dish. Sometimes when I'm cooking, I cook like a lot. I like making large quantities, and I don't have a large family or any children or anything like that, but I just like large quantities of food because it's gonna last for many days, and I don't like cooking like every single day because I don't really have time for that, to cook every single day. So yeah, I'm gonna assemble everything, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven. Yes, I'm gonna go through and do this layer by layer, you know, while I am waiting for the oven to heat up. So this is the kind of creamy base. Some people, I don't know, everyone does their vegan lasagna differently, but this is usually how I do it. I live in Canada, and in Toronto, and people here usually are kind of self-quarantined. Like before any of this cockroach virus happened, people were basically like, it's one of these places that one of these cities where people don't necessarily know their neighbors or talk to their neighbors a lot. So, you know, I see certain neighbors around me and all that, but we don't really communicate with each other, or we're too busy, because this is a very busy city, so it's not like people have time to talk to everyone, interact, and make friends with everyone, basically. So, and also Toronto is a new city, so people, when they come here, they're like, it's not like certain cities that are old, like New York and LA. Like when I go to visit family in Brooklyn and New York, you know, there's kind of this community or sense of community anyway, you know, with the Caribbean and the Latino people, because they go back generations. Like I have old family in Brooklyn, they go back generations. So when in Toronto, it's like self quarantine and self isolation isn't really anything new. It's just the stores that have closed down. That's the only thing that's really changed, because in Toronto people keep to themselves a lot. They're not very, it's not very extroverted. It's not a very extroverted kind of city compared to like places in the Caribbean or like Latin countries where people are more expressive. Like Canada's very British and all that. It's very... Now, I was born in Quebec, so I know the difference between the French and the Anglophones. The French people might be a bit more expressive, but the Anglophones are more like reserved and they're more introverted, okay? So this whole self-isolation thing isn't really anything new to me, or it doesn't feel like anything very drastic or different, because like I said, neighbors don't really communicate with you in Toronto unless you go way back with them, unless you went to school with them and all this kind of stuff. So if you're introverted, it's a good place to live. Like maybe Canada's a good place to live if you're more of an introverted person that likes to keep to themselves. But if you're more like Latin and very expressive and like, you know, like very extroverted, like going very social, like parties and gatherings, large gatherings with people, Canada is not necessarily like, they have that. It's just a different kind of culture, you know what I mean? Anyway, because this is a large casserole dish and I want to fill up everything. I don't want any gaps in this. It's supposed to be rich. It's supposed to be rich, so no gaps. You know what I'm saying? I think I have enough, yeah. I have enough pasta for the top. And I think I might put some on the edge here. You know, this kind of stuff, you know, the pasta is always good to have on deck with you. No matter what situation were to go down. Always have some pasta, some dried beans, nice big bags of rice with you. Where's my rice? 1 second. Oh shit, oh my god. This is so heavy. 1 second. So this big old bag of rice here, it's purple rice. Yeah, you can see the purple rice there. So it has anthocyanins and all that. Anything that's purplish, you know, grapes, prunes, you know, that purple color, blueberries, that kind of bluish or purple tint is good for your body because it has antioxidants, anthocyanins, so basically anti-cancer properties. And if you're like have a lot of radiation around you and all that, it's good to have the anti-cancer stuff. Cover the whites, covering the whites with the red meat, vegan meat, not beef. I'm not really into beef, you know, and not these days anyway. You can kind of see the mushrooms there, and the basil, the herbs, and olives, red pepper, and the mince, vegan mince. It's gonna taste really nice. Like it comes out really rich and juicy. I like my lasagna to be really juicy. So this sauce is nice and juicy and rich. I couldn't find any garlic in the supermarket. I'm like, what the heck? That's when I knew something was up, because if you can't find garlic in Canada, that's weird. Usually people avoid that, you know what I'm saying? People don't want to consume smelly foods here. They're very conscious about allergies and they're very, like, you know how people say, oh, Canadians are very sensitive, or they're very, not sensitive, they're very polite, so they don't want to offend people by having like smelly food and all that. But you know, down in the islands, we don't really care. We eat salt fish, we eat lots of garlic, we eat lots of onion, we eat lots of herbs, and that basically helps keep us healthy, you know? Like it's good for your body to consume it because it's natural to begin with, right? It's all natural. It's not processed unless you're processing it in something. But anyway, I'm gonna add some cheese, and then I'm gonna add the remaining pasta layer, and then put cheese on top and sauce on top and all that. So it's finished. Yeah, so it's very rich, very juicy.